So this is the longest pedestrian walkway in the North American continent, and it's called the Calzada de Guadalupe. A place where people to walk, to sit and chat on the stone benches, which are spaced out every 25 meters or so. There are gardens which as I speak are being irrigated. Okay, this is a monument. I'm not sure what this monument is to, but it is a water reservoir. It is a water reservoir. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day with a bright blue sky, but unusually there's a wind blowing. This is a bronze of a worker with sombrero on his back, huaraches on his feet, and carrying a heavy pitcher of who knows what. Perhaps it's pulque, the famous drink. To the church of Guadalupe, at the very, very distant end of this walkway. People are out running, one or two cycling, but it is a work day, of course, Monday, so most people are not at leisure to come and walk up and down and please themselves what they want to do. Okay. There's all kinds of buildings either side, some homes, some restaurants. The taqueria, which was open the other evening, that closed presently. Bread shops. So I think in the daylight you sort of get an appreciation of the length of the walkway, which is described as arbolado, tree lined. So of course you've got lots of shade for those hot days. It is still winter here, of course, January very much so, even though the temperature was up to about 29 degrees Celsius yesterday. There's a chocolate shop. I won't be going in there, I suppose. There's another building, an institute for children, for little girls and little boys, a present from God. So kind, this God. I wish he was a mate of mine. He'd take me out at night for a few beers. What we got here? Okay, this abomination looks like some kind of Baptist church, but no, it's a college actually, a school to be more precise, for all the kids, although it says primary and secondary. What we got there? parking. And a nice building decorated out in red. The Institute of Santa Rita. Next door to that, El Capitan. What is El Capitan? Looks like it's a hairdressing salon. On we go. And another hairdressers across there. And a restaurant. It's closed at the moment. Dancing school, ballet and classical. And here, Cultural Institute and a bread shop. And the water company. Cervantes, which is an establishment that promotes the teachings of Spanish throughout the world. I'm not quite sure what they're doing here in Mexico. Casa of Culture. Library across there, which has some connection to the Mexican army. We'll have a barracks next door. It's quite a grand looking library, much bigger than the one in Hackenthorpe, rather more grand. Happy dog. You can take her for a walk. That's part of the barracks. The military, there's a bit of hardware on display. A long time since the Mexican military was in action in a war against another country. Maybe 100 years, almost. 1846, I think, to be precise, when General Winfield Scott led American invasion force as far as Mexico City in exchange for accepting American terms. California, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico were handed over to the United States. Rather a nice piece of territory to be given. Of course, it will never be given back. Okay, we get into the end of the walkway. Okay, there's almost like a victory arch over there. I'll check that out on the way back. Got to see how much battery life remains. The more apps you put on your phone, obviously they discharge rather quicker. Maybe I should look at getting rid of some apps along the life of the battery. Yes, the wind is stirring through the trees. Of course, wearing a mask is playing havoc with my suntan. It's sort of top half's getting done, but the bottom half is still white. But that's not really a good look. I don't know. You can see how those tall, graceful trees are flexing in the wind. Almost Italianate. So these benches have been here for over 100 years. They were put down in the time of the presidency of Porfirio, the president who was in power for I think some 30 years before he was finally exiled. His time was known as the Porfiriate. Ocho. Can't have too many of those.